Hi, my name is Sheila Willis of Impact Tourism, the developer of the History Check mobile app. Welcome to History Bytes, your daily dose of Alberta Historical Trivia, brought to you in partnership with Belt Drive Betty Media and the Canadian Motorcycle Tourism Association. You can register to answer the questions for a shot to win prizes, or just take the quiz to satisfy your own brain power. Either way, we're excited to see how much of Alberta's history you really know. And yesterday's question was, in 1928, Dr. Hamman diagnosed Bert Logan with diptheria at Little Red River. Who delivered the request for serum to Fort Vermilion? Was it A, Billy Gray, B, Joe LaFleur, or C, William Lambert? And the answer is A, Billy Gray. While the telling of this story often focuses on the Mercy Flight by Watmay and Vic Horner, the case really starts in Little Red River, where Bert Logan, the Hudson's Bay Company manager, became ill with diphtheria in December of 1927. Billy Gray and his son Bobby also played an important role. When Bert Logan became ill, his wife asked Billy Gray to go upriver about 45 miles to Fort Vermilion for the doctor. At this time of year, such journeys were done on the river. It had not yet frozen enough for safe travel, so he did the journey walking ahead of his horses all of the way, testing the ice as he went to make sure they would not break through. He retrieved Dr. Hamman in Fort Vermilion and returned to Little Red River, where Mr. Logan's case was confirmed as diphtheria. At the doctor's request, he once again set out for Fort Vermilion, this time to request the message to be sent for the serum needed to inoculate everyone in the settlements. For this trip, he took 2 teams of horses with sleighs and his son Bobby, and delivered Dr. Hamman's message to Gus Clark, who then sent Joe LaFleur and William Lambert to the telegraph office in Priest River, where it could be sent to the Edmonton Department of Health. Meanwhile, still in Fort Vermilion, Billy and Bobby rested their horses, loaded the freight and mail for Little Red River, and started their return journey on December 24th, Christmas Eve. They camped overnight at Clement Paul's sawmill and woke the next morning, Christmas Day, to find that during the night a Chinook had blown in, melting the snow and turning the Peace River into a giant sheet of ice. Only one of the teams of horses had shoes, so Billy took that team and returned to Fort Vermilion to get the supplies needed to shoe the other team, returning to Clement Paul's, where blacksmith tools were made available for Bobby to shape the iron shoes to fit the horses' hooves. The next morning they were on their way again, only to meet Frances Barossa, who had Dr. Hamman, Mrs. Logan, and her husband's body with them. Bert Logan had succumbed to the disease on December 22nd. Barossa, lacking horseshoes, had wrapped his horse's hooves in gunny sacks for traction. It was a poor substitute, so the load, passengers, and the body were transferred to Billy Gray's sleigh, and once again, he and Bobby were back to Fort Vermilion. Upon arrival, the police informed them that Bert Logan's body could not be removed in town, so they drove to the Anglican cemetery east of the village where he was buried. Billy and his son Bobby are lesser-known heroes of this near tragedy. Fortunately, with all of the people that had been exposed, Logan was the only case of diphtheria in the area. And tomorrow's question is, Moonshine Lake, now a provincial park site, was once A. Is it A, a Boy Scout camp, B, a private resort, or C, a slough? Come back tomorrow for the answer and the story that goes along with it. Then we'll load you up with the next day's question. Enjoy!